reminder, the news doesn't end here. Here's what's coming up on WCNC Plus at 7 a.m.
The government shutdown could soon be over, but the political battle over it is far from done. Coming up, what North Carolina's top leaders are saying about the deal.
As that deal moves forward, local leaders and families say the damage is already done.
People are not ping pong balls. They should not be leveraged or used as pawns in any way.
The call for political change as many in the Carolinas continue to struggle.
Plus, with this Arctic blast rolling in, many are wondering if cold weather can actually make you sick. We'll verify the facts as experts say now is the time to prepare for winter.
It's Veterans Day.
That's right. We've got the details on services saluting our service members. Those stories and much more live, local, and breaking news coming up at 7 a.m. on WCNC Plus.
And live images right now from Gaston County, I-85 at Sam Wilson. Normally this time of day, it is jam-packed on those northbound lanes, but a lot of people, a lot of students off due to Veterans Day. Same goes over towards York County, 77 looking good, and no major incidents to let you know of. Just this one in Elizabeth that is causing some delays. This is on 4th Street, crash being reported at Charlottetown Avenue. Majestic.
And we are weather alert through 9 a.m. this morning because of the bitterly cold temperatures. By the afternoon, highs only rising into the upper 40s. Tomorrow morning, right around freezing, and then we'll see those mid-60s returning, 70s by the weekend, and even 77 by Sunday. So another big change, but we'll take this change.
Yes, we will.
That's the kind of change I like.
Yes.
Right.
All right, make sure that you join us over on WCNC Plus, streaming live starting in just a few minutes at 7 a.m.
Streaming live right now at 7 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington. We are weather alert today as our temperatures are frigid, and they will be that way as you head out this morning.
Majestic joins us right now with a look outside, if you can bear to see it.
You say it so negatively. I'm very excited for this very beautiful start to the day. Yes, we have snow in the mountains. I think most people who live in the mountains are at least used to this. We have no more snow here in the city, although we did have a few snow flurries. Why we are weather alert today is not because of the mountain snow, but because it is cold for everyone. Look at how gorgeous it is, though. Clear skies, cold temperatures. So if you're heading out the door, whether you're in Boone or Blowing Rock, everyone, you need the layers, even right here in the city. Our winter weather advisory just canceled out, so you are no longer under that if you're in the mountains, so we're making some progress there. However, we still have some breezy winds, gusty winds, though, up in the higher locations. Jefferson, northwest winds gusting 30 to 35 miles an hour. That's making it feel like we're into the single digits. 3 degrees right now in Jefferson. It feels like we're at 22 in Charlotte, 17 in Monroe, 18 for Rock Hill. So this is why we are weather alert today, and we'll stay weather alert until 9 o'clock this morning. By that point, our freeze warnings will expire, and then those temperatures will start to slowly rise right above freezing. In the mountains today, though, it is going to stay very cold. This is what it will feel like on your skin, those wind chills, mainly into the single digits this morning, teens and low 20s, really, as we're heading into the later half of the day. So, few things you need to know is that those temperatures last night, they dropped below freezing around 8:30, and now we're looking at 10 to 12 hours consecutively below freezing. This is our first hard freeze of the season, and this is why we have issued this weather impact alert. Yes, grab the jackets, grab the gloves, maybe even a scarf. If you have to work outside in the elements, you don't want a whole lot of exposed skin when we're dealing with such cold temperatures, especially up there in the mountains where it literally feels like we're in the single digits. Temperatures today only rising into the 40s. Tomorrow, though, just like that, we're back into the 60s, and if you're looking for 70s, mid-70s, they're coming our way as well. This is what the rest of our day looks like for your Tuesday. Clear and sunny. It's going to be absolutely beautiful, but cold, with temperatures really only rising right around those mid to upper 40s for most of us. But notice up in the higher elevations, right around freezing for your actual high temperature. 50 degrees across Charlotte, but one thing is for sure, it is going to be beautiful today with a whole lot of sunshine. Now here's our satellite and radar. It's quiet this morning across the Carolinas. We did still have a few light snow flurries out there in the mountains. I think by this point we're really good to go. But let's talk about that snow that we had yesterday in Charlotte. The last time that we had snow in November was in 2018. But the snow that fell last night tied for the 5th earliest snowfall on record since 1991. I mean, we only got a trace. We didn't even pick up an inch of snow or anything like that in the area. Of course, higher totals as we're looking at towards the higher elevations right here out there at Upstate there in Boone. You can see how snowy those roads are. Make sure you're taking it nice and easy if you are traveling this morning, because that's really going to be the main focus when it comes to slick and icy spots. Weather alerts. Let's talk about this because freeze warnings still are in place for most of our viewing area until 9 o'clock this morning. Issued by the National Weather Service, temperatures dropping below freezing. First hard freeze, which means if you have any sensitive plants, sensitive vegetation, hopefully you've been paying close attention to our weather team, because we've been telling you that this cold snap is on the way, and this can be very, very harsh on vegetation. What we're looking at, though, as far as our futurecast feel like temperatures, mainly teens and 20s, and then by about 11 o'clock this morning, still feeling like it's below freezing because of those northwesterly winds, and into the single digits still there in Boone. Now, we do still have a light at the end of the tunnel, all right? So temperatures can't help you much with them today, but overnight tonight, instead of those 20s that we are seeing now, we'll be seeing 30-degree temperatures. And then we'll see that change in the direction of our wind, because the wind has been a huge factor in our forecast over the last 2 days, really, moving in from the northwest, pulling in all of that bitter, cold, northerly Arctic air. We're feeling that this morning, but then by tomorrow for our Wednesday, the winds start to move in from the southwest, and that's going to pull in warmer temperatures for us. So here's our Jerry Hunt Super Center 7-day forecast. Of course, today is Veterans Day. I want to say good morning to all the veterans waking up with us and streaming. I want to say thank you for your service. Cannot help you with those temperatures today, but I'm surely sending you a whole lot of sunshine. It's going to be a beautiful day, really, no matter where you are across the Carolinas. But by tomorrow, much more enjoyable for that walk that you want to do or any errands that you need to get done. Temperatures back into the 70s just in time for the weekend and really well above average by Sunday with a high of 77 degrees. All right, Becca, how are the roads? Is it quiet because a lot of schools are out today?
Yes, it is rush hour traffic technically, but it does not look like it on the current road conditions. So I'm seeing a lot more green than red. Typically that is the opposite right around this time. Just a little bit of slowdowns in the usual spot that is going to be I-77 northbound as drivers make their way over to uptown Charlotte. Also Gastonia 85 northbound, also a little bit slow out there. Like I mentioned, those slowdowns I-77 near uptown area. This is at Moorhead Street. That's what we're seeing there. A little bit better over towards York County, live view across 77. But we still have a couple of incidents out there, none of which are causing any major delays. This one in Elizabeth neighborhood, 4th Street crash being reported at Charlottetown Avenue. In addition, this one, Westinghouse Boulevard crash being reported at Granite Street. And then we also do have a road blockage. This is over towards Park Road at East Woodlawn Road, causing just minor delays at this point.
7:06 right now on WCNC Plus, and the longest government shutdown now on track to end within the next couple of days. Live pictures right now as the sun comes up over the U.S. Capitol, where overnight senators voted to approve a bipartisan agreement. So let's walk you through what's been happening over the last day or two inside that building. On Sunday, the Senate voted to advance the bill. Now, this was not a final passage. Think of it more like a testing of the waters. Then last night's vote, that was the official approval, now sending it off to the House. The agreement would now provide 3 full-year spending bills for some agencies. It also gives a short-term measure to fund the rest of the government at current spending levels through at least January 30th. Now, the breakthrough came after 8 Democratic senators broke rank and joined Republicans to vote for the compromise. Here's a look, and there is a common thread among these senators. None of them are up for re-election anytime soon. And 2 of them, New Hampshire's Jeanne Shaheen and Illinois' Dick Durbin, have already announced they're planning to retire when their terms end in 2027.
So the question now, what happens next? Let's walk you through that process and what to watch for in the days ahead.
With the Senate deal passed, it moves across the Capitol to the House of Representatives, where leaders are expected to take it up quickly. House Speaker Mike Johnson says he is hoping to vote by Wednesday after members return to the district. If the House approves it with no changes, the bill heads straight to the president's desk for his signature. That signature would officially reopen the federal government, restore pay for workers, and restart programs that have been frozen during the shutdown.
And coming up at 7:30, our Destiny Richards is going to join us live with how North Carolina lawmakers are reacting to how things are progressing in the Senate. And as the shutdown continues, WCNC Charlotte's Tradisha Woodard spoke with families who say from food assistance to health care, the strain is deepening with each passing week.
Well, Congresswoman Alma Adams was joined here by other state and local leaders advocating for families who are struggling to make ends meet. She says some of the recent federal decisions are hurting the everyday people the government should be working to protect.
But it's wrong to starve people. It's wrong.
While some came with stories,
it's harming everybody.
Others came with scriptures.
For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. Yes. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. What he did not say is that when I am hungry, it's okay if you force me to choose between taking the medicine I need and feeding my child.
But still, they all stood united about the growing frustration. They say the federal shutdown is hitting home in painful ways.
This is the 41st day of the government shutdown.
Congresswoman Alma Adams stood shoulder to shoulder with others.
And that means that for 41 days, 7,000 federal employees in my district have gone without pay. 41 days, the Charlotte Mecklenburg residents experiencing pauses and delays as they are seeking services from the government.
Adams echoing similar concerns. They say the system is failing those who've worked their whole lives to build it, and they want federal leaders to feel that urgency.
Let's look at the suffering and the pain. Let's have some compassion.
People matter.
County Commissioner Mark Jarrell says folks are losing faith, not just in policy, but also in promises. They're hoping their message serves as a reminder that communities can no longer continue to linger in uncertainty.
People are not ping pong balls. They should not be leveraged or used as pawns in any way.
Tradisha Woodard, WCNC Charlotte.
Even with the end of the government shutdown looming, things are still rough at Charlotte Douglas right now. At last check, 58 flights have been canceled today and 9 have been delayed. There were more than 60 cancellations and 300 delays yesterday. Some passengers and travel companies are turning to alternatives to avoid potential delays and cancellations. Travel experts say if you are still looking to book a flight ahead of the holidays, try getting the first flight of the day.
If you're booking plans for the upcoming weeks, especially for the holiday period, what we recommend is taking the first flight of the day at 6 to 9 a.m. We often see delays, amount, and domino effect throughout the afternoon. So if you can get out first, that's going to be your best bet to getting to your destination on time.
Experts also urge those who have had a canceled flight to take advantage of the airline reimbursement vouchers. Now, if you want to see how flights are going, both here at Charlotte Douglas and across the country, all you have to do is text the word flight to that number on your screen, 704-329-3600. You'll get the latest details on cancellations and delays.
7-11 coming up. More of today's top headlines, including new details in the homicide case of a disabled woman. What key evidence shows she may have been abused leading up to her death. .13 right now. Now to a breaking news update. We've learned that a second suspect is facing charges in connection to the death of a 4-year-old in Caldwell County last week.
The child's mother, Denisha Booker, was arrested Monday and charged with felony child abuse. Investigators say she lied about who was taking care of the child, which delayed him from receiving first aid. She is in jail with a $750,000 bond.
Police say this man, Thomas Bryant, was the person taking care of the 4-year-old at the time. They tell us he was prohibited from having any contact with the boy after being accused of assaulting him on October 29th. He was released on a $5,000 bond under the condition he would not make contact with the victim. Bryant's now facing a charge of murder. CMPD investigating a shooting that left one person seriously hurt in Uptown. It happened near West 5th and North Pine Street. Medic confirmed the victim is battling critical injuries. No word yet on any suspects at this hour. This morning, we're learning more about what may have caused a crash involving a Rowan County deputy. It happened a little before 7 last night on Highway 601. Reports say the car veered off the road, hit a couple of trees before rolling over several times. Medical crews say it appears the deputy was suffering from a medical issue that caused him to lose control. He's currently recovering with non-life-threatening injuries.
The man charged in 3 homicides across Monroe and Charlotte will remain behind bars. Adam Mercado appeared in court for the first time Monday. His extensive criminal history dates back to 2008, including resisting an officer in 2011 and breaking and entering a vehicle in June of this year. In both Mecklenburg and Union counties, Mercado is facing first-degree murder charges, among several others. His next court appearance is scheduled for this Friday. Prosecutors are revealing new information in a case that left a disabled woman dead. Marlo Wallace and Vera Williams are charged with abusing the victim in the weeks before her death. The two faced a judge yesterday. During their appearances, the district attorney revealed surveillance cameras inside the home captured video evidence of the crime.
Investigators saw some of the worst degrading abuse, both physical and verbal, that I've seen as district attorney.
Again, the two women are charged with patient abuse and assaulting a person with a disability. Wallace is also accused of concealing 23-year-old Aaliyah Fortner's death. Fortner was found dead inside a home on Greenbrook Trail in Dallas last month. During their hearing, Wallace suggested she acted in self-defense.
November Lung Cancer Awareness Month, and to honor it, Iredell Health Systems offering low-dose CT screens. These scans only use a small amount of radiation. The painless scan takes only about a minute, with the whole appointment lasting between 10 and 15 minutes. Screenings being offered at several Iredell Health locations. The Charlotte Radiology Mobile Mammogram Bus will be at the Matthews Police Department today for screenings. All starts in just about 45 minutes at 8 a.m. To make an appointment, call the number on your screen. Officials ask that you do have your doctor's name and insurance information available when you schedule. All right, it's a weather impact morning because of the frigid temperatures. Majestic joins us now with your forecast after this. .19 right now on WCNC Plus. Take a look at some incredible video out of Hawaii showing lava shooting more than 1,000 feet in the air during Kilauea's eruption on Sunday alongside a rare volnado The phenomenon, a tornado-like swirl of dust and ash, formed as hot air from the lava mixed with cooler air above. Experts say these volnadoes are short-lived, this one marking Kilauea's 36th eruption since December 2024. Majestic joins us right now. A rare event happening there, kind of like the chill we're having right now. Evidently, you say that the cold weather we've seen and the snow we saw last night, one of the earliest snows we've seen here in Charlotte.
Yeah, last time we've seen snow in Charlotte in November was in 2018. And then the snow that we saw last night actually tied as the 5th earliest snowfall on record since 1991. So yeah, we did have some kind of historic snowfall, but we're weather alert today because of that bitter cold air back behind that strong Arctic cold front. If you haven't been outside yet, well, let me just tell you, it is cold out there, especially if you're watching from the mountains. We'll stay weather alert until 9 a.m. this morning, and we've seen those temperatures drop below freezing last night around 8:30 for most of us, and then we're going to see 10 to 12 hours of consecutive hours of temperatures below freezing. So that's why we are weather alert. Grab the layers, grab the winter coat. You will want it, especially if you have to be outside for an extended amount of time. Here's a look at our temperatures right now. We're at 30 degrees out there in Wadesboro. We're at 29 in Charlotte, 26 in Monroe, and 19 degrees up there in Jefferson. But here's the catch. Yes, we know it's cold. We have that cold air in place, but unfortunately, we're also watching strong gusty winds up in the mountains. So northwest of Charlotte, some of those winds gusting over 40 miles an hour in Jefferson. And if you've been in cold weather, you know, cold is one thing, but it takes it to a whole nother level when you have really strong winds in place, because then all of a sudden it feels like you're into the single digits, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now in Jefferson, really in our mountain communities, with dangerously cold feel-like temperatures. For most of us, we're waking up to those conditions that are right into the teens and 20s. So bottom line, it's cold for everyone, and that's why we have issued this weather alert day. We'll stay under this freeze warning until 9 a.m. this morning. Again, these are issued by the National Weather Service, and hopefully you've been staying close to our weather team. We've been preparing you for this cold snap. So hopefully if you have any sensitive plants or vegetation, you're able to take care of them, because such cold temperatures for such an extended amount of time, 10 to 12 hours, that can do some serious damage. We're looking at a beautiful day, though. There's some silver lining. It is going to be beautiful with sunny skies. Temperatures, again, not even reaching 50 degrees, so very similar as to what we saw yesterday. And in the mountains, temperatures will really hover right around freezing. And remember, these are our actual highs. 48 degrees in Gastonia, 47 in Chester, and perhaps a low 50-degree temperature there in Chirac. Now, if you're looking for warmer weather and you're just not ready for this cold temperatures that we've seen, well, tomorrow will be actually a whole lot better, going from 48 degrees for our high today to 65 tomorrow, 68 on Thursday, and then Friday through Sunday. I mean, we're looking at a great weekend. Make some outdoor plans, because not only will we have well above average temperatures, but then the sunshine's going to stick around as well. Overnight lows over the next couple of mornings, they'll be into the 30s. Yes, still chilly, but at least it won't be as cold as what we're waking up to this morning. And then those overnight lows will actually warm into the 50s next week. Precipitation, we have none as we're looking at the next several days ahead. It's really not until next week that we could get another round of rain at this point, but really it's going to be a very dry weather pattern. Here's a live camera look if you are just waking up and joining us here on the stream. This one's coming in from Beach Mountain. I'm noticing all the snow on the ground, but also limited visibility out there. So if you're watching from the mountains, it is surely a winter wonderland. It's pretty, but just make sure you're driving safely. All right, I'm going to send things over to Becca. She's been watching those roads for you all morning long. Becca, any new updates that people need to know about this morning?
No major updates out there, but we are seeing the typical slowdown for this time of day. This is on I-77 over towards West Boulevard, just before you hit the John Boat Freeway. Seeing those slowdowns, especially on those northbound lanes, pretty typical for this time of day, but also monitoring as people start to hit the roadways. Some slick, snowy roads out there over towards Boone, Live Look over towards King Street. So just keep that in mind for hazardous travel, especially on primary and secondary roads that could be partially covered with ice and snow. Seeing some slowdowns, yes, on I-77, also the inner loop of I-485 towards Matthews, Mint Hill, and Gaston County 85 northbound, also dealing with some slowdowns there, typical for this time of day. We do have a new crash that is being reported on Wilkinson Boulevard at Westerly Hills Drive. This is the outbound lanes as if you're going to the airport, so do expect that to add a couple of extra minutes to that morning commute. In addition, still have this one, Elizabeth neighborhood 4th Street crash at Charlottetown Avenue, not really causing any huge delays. And this one has cleared. Westinghouse Boulevard crash at Granite Street. Don't have to worry about that for that morning commute.
Approaching 7:25 right now. Keep it right here on WCNC Plus. Another check your forecast. Plus, the latest on the government shutdown. Up next.
Well, good Tuesday morning, everyone. We are waking up to bitterly cold temperatures, and that is exactly why we have a WCNC weather impact alert day until 9 o'clock this morning, because we have our first hard freeze of the season. You'll need that big winter coat because not only do we have chilly temperatures, but gusty winds as well. We had many locations across our viewing area that received some flurries last night, even some accumulating snowfall up in the mountains. Out there in Blowing Rock, a beautiful start to the day. Much of the same right there in Boone, where we still have some snow there on the ground. That is not why we are weather alert, though. Remember, we're weather alert because it is very cold out there. 19 degrees in Jefferson, 29 degrees in Charlotte. We've seen these temperatures drop below freezing since last night around 8 o'clock, and now you add the wind on top of it, and it's going to feel even colder than that with our wind chills into the single digits up towards the mountains. Becca, how are the roads?
Roadways looking good out there. A live look outside. This is from I-77 at Nations Ford Road. It is rush hour traffic, but doesn't necessarily look like it because it is Veterans Day. A lot of schools and a lot of people are off, so a lot less traffic out on the roadways. Still, though, have a couple of incidents out there, including this one. This is going to be outbound Wilkinson Boulevard at Old Steel Creek Road.
streaming live right now at 7:30 right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington. We are weather alert today as temperatures are frigid as you head out this morning.
Majestic joins us right now with a look at your forecast, and it is going to warm up.
It is slowly but surely, but honestly today we are going to struggle to feel that warmth as temperatures stay into the 30s and 40s for daytime highs. But we've issued our WCNC weather impact alert because of the brutal cold air outside and really because this is our first hard freeze of the season. We saw those temperatures drop below freezing around 8 o'clock last night, and we've stayed below freezing even until this point. So about 10 to 12 hours of consecutive very cold temperatures. You'll want to grab those layers as you're heading out the door, especially if you work outside in the elements and if you have any outdoor pets. Hopefully you already brought them inside by this point, or at least made sure they were prepared for this chilly start to the morning. Now the silver lining is that it is gorgeous outside. We're waking up to blue skies and sunshine, not even a single cloud out there, but when we have those clear skies, that really allows those temperatures to drop a lot. Let's talk about the snow. Me personally, I think it's absolutely gorgeous out there in the mountains. This is there in Blowing Rock. You can see some of the roads still a little slick and icy in spots, but it is a really beautiful day with a whole lot of sunshine, and you can see that nice blanket of snow on the ground. Much of the same right here in Boone. That's right there at King Street. You can see people just taking their time as they're traveling this morning. Now in the mountains specifically, we are dealing with some strong gusty winds. Some of our most recent wind gusts still recording over 40-mile-per-hour winds in Jefferson. That's problematic because it's already very cold outside, and the wind is kind of the last thing you want when you're already dealing with Arctic air. Makes it feel like you're into the single digits up in the mountains. We're feeling like we're into the teens and 20s right around Charlotte, 16 degrees in Lincolnton, 18 out toward Shelby, and 17 for Monroe. Now in the mountains today, of course, that's where we're going to see the most dangerous wind chills into the single digits still up until about noon, and then we'll see them climb into the teens and 20s. Overall today, though, it is going to stay breezy, mid to upper 40-degree temperatures, but because of that northwesterly wind, it's going to feel like we're right around those 30s most of the day today. The good news is tomorrow is going to get warmer, 60s return, and then believe it or not, 70s, multiple days of 70s, and I'm talking about mid to upper 70s in my 7-day forecast. For the day, though, there's your planner. It's going to be a gorgeous one. Again, temperatures rising right around those mid to upper 40s, not quite reaching 50 degrees for most of us. And in the mountain, those highs today, they're going to hover right around freezing, just kind of struggling to warm overall. Here's our satellite and radar. We did have those snow flurries last night around uptown, around many locations actually in our viewing area. We picked up about a trace, and some of those snowflakes even made it all the way to Myrtle Beach. So let's talk about that snow. The last time we had snow in November, it was in 2018, and the snow that fell last night, it was only a trace, but it tied for the second earliest snowfall. Actually, it tied for the 5th earliest snowfall since 1991. So you can see it there. We do not have any more snow in the forecast today. We now are just dealing with that bitter cold air. This is what we're looking at when we're taking a look at Boone there at App State, where the area roadways still blanketed with some snow, especially those grassy surfaces. And I'm noticing a lot of the trees still moving because of how windy it is. National Weather Service keeping us under this freeze warning until 9 a.m. this morning, so hopefully you've been staying close to our weather team. We've been preparing you for this cold snap for multiple days, and it's very, very harsh on vegetation and sensitive plants, so hopefully you protected them, brought them inside, because it might be too late at this point. We're looking at our wind chills, though, as we're progressing into the afternoon. We're going to struggle even by about 11 noon. We'll see those wind chills mainly into the 20s and 30s, still into the single digits, so up in Boone. And then this is what's going to happen as we're heading into the overnight hours. Still staying chilly, but we'll see our lows dip down into the 30s instead of the 20s. We'll have more on our full 7-day forecast and that nice warm up coming up. But for now, Becca, how are the area roadways? Anything new that people need to know about this morning?
Yes, one thing that I am tracking is right in the uptown area. This is the ramp lane that is closed due to a disabled vehicle that is just cleared to the shoulder now. So it has reopened. This is I-77 northbound right near mile marker 11. So again, had a disabled vehicle blocking the ramp lane, but but that has just cleared off, so you do not have to worry about that for that morning commute. But looking at a couple of other issues out there as well. So I want to show you the latest in traffic conditions. York County, I-77, really no issues there. Typically, we see the slowdowns on I-77 northbound over towards Gold Hill Road, only seeing slight slowdowns just due to the lower amount of traffic that we're seeing. I am also monitoring another stalled vehicle. This is up over towards the northern portion of Charlotte. Sugar Creek Road blocking one lane of traffic at W.T. Harris Boulevard.
Continuing coverage now of the government shutdown, and this morning we're hearing from North Carolina lawmakers reacting to the Senate deal.
That's right. Our colleagues at WRAL reached out to all 14 members of North Carolina's delegation in the U.S. House to ask how they plan to vote on the package. WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards is live this morning in West Charlotte with a look at some of those responses. Destiny.
Yeah, North Carolina lawmakers have been sounding off since this vote happened, and there are some that are praising this deal as a way to end the government shutdown finally, and there are others that are saying this deal was a mistake. Now, on both parties, you're seeing very different responses. Republican Congresswoman Virginia Foxx, who chairs the House Rules Committee, says she's in alignment with House Speaker Mike Johnson as Republicans decide their next steps. On the other side, Democrat Congresswoman Deborah Ross called the plan a bad deal for North Carolina, saying it fails to protect families facing rising health care costs. And former Governor Roy Cooper, who's running to replace Republican Tom Tillis in the U.S. Senate, said any deal that allows health care costs to skyrocket is unacceptable. Other North Carolina Republicans, including Mark Harris and Greg Murphy, are blaming Democrats for the stalemate, calling the shutdown political theater. And while moderate Democrats like Don Davis say they just want to end the shutdown responsibly and get help to families who need it. So while the shutdown is nearing an end, there is still that political divide over who's to blame and what happens next, which is very similar to what we have seen out of Washington these past couple of weeks. I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Dusty, thanks. Well, just in time for Veterans Day, North Carolina leaders making it easier for former service members to get the care they need. Governor Stein and the State Health Department announcing extended hours for NC serves and the launch of Ask Me NC. They say these efforts will help veterans get access to mental health care, housing, and employment. More than 600,000 veterans live in North Carolina right now. And you can salute our veterans at several events taking place today. That includes the rededication ceremony at Harrisburg's Veterans Park. That's at 10:30 this morning in a few hours. The Eastern Cabarrus Historical Society will also host a Veterans Day program starting at 11 in Mount Pleasant. And tonight, look up at the sky and you can see Charlotte's skyline lit in green, part of Operation Greenlight. That's a national initiative to support veterans and raise awareness about the challenges they face. And a quick reminder, you probably already know this, but double check to make sure your child's school is closed for the holiday or not. While we know that majority of folks are out, some districts have decided to observe the holiday from inside the classroom.
7:38 now. Incoming students at UNC Chapel Hill could see tuition hikes next year. This week, the school's Board of Trustees will consider a proposal to raise in-state tuition by 3%. Tuition for existing students will not change. Some big news for golf fans in North Carolina. The PGA Tour is returning to Asheville for the first time in more than 8 decades. The city teaming up with the Biltmore Estate for a new tournament at the Cliffs of Walnut Cove next year. That tournament will be held over the next 4 years. Organizers say the moment symbolizes renewal and resilience for the Asheville area after Helene.
The Biltmore Championship in Asheville will draw more than 100 professional golfers, their caddies, their families. It will bring thousands of spectators every day, and importantly, hours of global television coverage, just shining a light on our beautiful region.
The first edition of the tournament will take place September 17th through the 20th of next year.
A new warning from air traffic controllers is raising concern among flyers out there why the nation's travel issues may get even worse despite nearing an end to the shutdown. 7:42 right now. We are currently seeing about 58 cancellations and 7 delays at Charlotte Douglas so far today. But as we've noticed in the past few days, that could change at any moment throughout the day. The Air Traffic Controllers Union now issuing a new warning regarding employees' mental health. They've now missed 2 paychecks.
Now, they must focus on childcare instead of traffic flows, food for their families instead of runway separation. This is not politics. This is not ideology. This is the erosion of the safety margin the flying public never sees, but America relies on every single day.
With the hopes of the shutdown ending in the next couple of days, many are wondering about back pay for air traffic controllers. Well, after the 2019 government shutdown, the Air Traffic Controllers Association says it took months to get all that back pay squared away.
Meanwhile, if you are planning a trip, travel insurance might not be a bad idea.
Valeria Ponte Feliciano has more on how it could save you money if you need to cancel.
If you're looking to book a trip, it might be a good idea to look into travel insurance. It can protect you in case of unexpected changes or issues during your journey.
Consider travel insurance if you're traveling internationally or if you're booking non-refundable types of travel, or if you have certain medical conditions or things that you want to make sure are covered.
Melissa Lambarena is with NerdWallet. She says when shopping for travel insurance, you'll want to look at the different plans and understand what's covered. For example, some plans let you cancel for any reason. Others only cover specific reasons. Remember, the more that's covered typically costs more too. Also, check if your credit card has travel insurance.
This is more typical of the credit cards that charge annual fees that focus on earning travel rewards.
Lambarena says for the coverage to apply, you have to use that specific credit card when booking. And again, make sure it has the coverage that you need.
Whatever is covered will only be covered if you use that specific credit card to make the purchase, whether that's airfare, a car rental, or a hotel accommodation.
Valeria Ponte Feliciano reporting for us there. Keep it right here on WCNC Plus. Back with a check of your forecast and morning commute.
Well, good Tuesday morning, everyone. Today we are weather impact alert, and it's not because of the snow that we saw yesterday, those snow flurries, and it's not because of the mountain snow either. It's because of that bitterly cold air that we are all waking up to this morning. It doesn't matter where you're watching from across the Carolinas, it is just cold. We'll stay weather alert until 9 o'clock this morning. After 9 o'clock, those temperatures will gradually start to rise above that freezing mark, but we've seen those temperatures drop below freezing since about 8 o'clock last night. We've now had multiple hours in a row where we've just been locked into those below freezing temperatures, so a total of about 10 to 12 hours. We're looking at still very cold temperatures throughout the daytime hours, so just keep those jackets handy, probably some coats and some layers, maybe some gloves and some hats, depending how long you have to be outside. It is beautiful though. I mean, we are talking about blue skies and sunshine from Dallas to Monroe, Lake Norman, even right here in the Queen City. And if you like the snow, well, this is where we have snow right now that has accumulated out there in Blowing Rock. If you're watching the stream from the mountains, good morning to you. I'm a little jealous of your view this morning. We call this a bluebird day back where I'm from in Washington State, where you have just that snow that falls on the ground, and then the next day you have nothing but blue sunny skies. It is a beautiful day, but it is definitely cold. Another live camera look. This one's coming in from King Street there in Boone, where yes, we still do have some snow there, kind of slushy road conditions. However, those temperatures are still very, very chilly. Look at those temperatures across the country. Really, we're dealing with those below freezing temperatures for much of the East Coast. We're at 29 degrees in Charlotte, which is actually colder than Missoula, Montana. We're seeing temperatures that are cooler than Denver, Colorado, where they're at 57 degrees right now. And Wichita, Kansas, 35 degrees. So yes, that chill is in the air. The bad thing with our weather forecast is that it's also very windy up towards the mountains. A little bit of a breeze in the Queen City, but up in the mountains, those northwesterly winds really makes it feel even colder than it already is. Once you factor in the wind, feels like you're into the single digits. 19 degrees in Lincolnton, 18 in Rock Hill, and 17 there in Monroe. So let's take a look at those forecasted high temperatures today in the mountains. Remember, it will remain windy for much of your day. So while temperatures rise right around freezing or just above, it's going to feel like you're mainly into the teens and 20s today. A high of 34 degrees in Blowing Rock, 35 in Boone. Once we head across the foothills, forecasted highs mainly into the mid to upper 40s, 48 degrees in Morganton. And once we head through the Charlotte metro area, very similar, nearing 50 degrees, but I don't think we hit 50 degrees today. That Arctic air is cold. 49 in Lancaster and 48 in Monroe. Live camera look coming in from Charlotte. It is a gorgeous start to the morning. If you're heading out for a morning walk, maybe you're just heading out to your car to go to work or wherever you're heading this morning, you'll want to grab a layer heading out the door because with that wind, it's going to be a little brutal at times. The good news is warmer temperatures are moving our way and they're going to be here soon. I mean, as soon as tomorrow, we'll see our daytime highs rise back into the mid 60s. And then 70-degree temperatures are on the way as well. It's going to be beautiful though, plenty of sunshine. Just remember, it's not getting very warm today. Satellite and radar across the Carolinas, nice and clear. I mean, it's gorgeous no matter where you're watching from today. And while we did have a few more snow flurries this morning, looks like they're mostly done with by this point. This is our live camera coming in from App State, where it is a pretty sight, definitely more winter-like though. And those freeze warnings issued by the National Weather Service, they'll stay in place until 9 o'clock this morning, and after 9 o'clock they should all cancel out, and that's also when we will no longer be weather alert. Temperatures are going to be the big story today, but we do have warmer weather ahead with temperatures rising into the 60s tomorrow and then eventually some 70s. So something to look forward to. But as of now, if you're heading out the door, let's get a check on those area roadways. Becca's been watching it all morning long. Rather slower for the most part, you would say, right?
Definitely, yeah, a little bit slower. And in fact, a lot less traffic out there. So if you are headed out early, really no issues. Live look over towards York County, 77 looking good in both those north and southbound lanes. A live look outside from Gaston County, I-85 at Sam Wilson Road. Normally this time of day, I-85 I-85 northbound is jam-packed, but a lot less traffic out there as a lot of people are off for Veterans Day. So right now, probably more green than red. That's the good news if you do have any plans to head outdoors. I'm monitoring a couple of crashes, including this one on the board. This is the newest one. This is on Monroe Road. Incident being reported at Orchard Lake Drive. So lots of green there, indicating some minor slowdowns. And then I'm also looking at Sugar Creek Road, stalled vehicle blocking one lane of traffic. That's at W.T. Harris Boulevard. And still have this crash with reports of an injury. This is Wilkinson Boulevard, heading outbound, crash at Old Steel Creek Road.
Thanks. Back in time for our Tuesday Tailwagging along with the friends at Animal Care and Control. Our featured pet today is this guy. He's looking for his forever home. His name is Esco. Great name. Esco is a big guy, weighs about 55 pounds. He's almost 6 years old, just a friendly, sweet dog, loves people, and really oblivious to other animals, so that's some good news, probably not cats. He's available at Animal Care Control, open Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and every Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Check him out one more time. He's about 6 years old. He is house-trained, knows some commands. His name is Esco, and he is our very special Tuesday Tailwagger.
Larry, thanks. Bryson always has folks talking, but the Panthers quarterback is quietly making an impact away from the field as well.
That's right. His foundation, the Young Nine, is all about mental wellness for young people. Just this summer, you may remember we told you how he put on a free football camp for 300 kids that included meditation. This morning, WCNC Charlotte's Michelle Bowden has more on how Young is personally delivering the message.
Bryce is the real deal. When he says that mental health matters, he means it. His foundation, Young Nine, is all about mental wellness for the youth, and he shows up in ways that might surprise you.
Bryce Young is the first to tell you life will throw you some hits and misses.
You know, we all have our ups and downs.
But the Panthers quarterback makes a point to keep it all in perspective.
Super grateful to be a part of this building. Ups and downs over the last couple of years, coming to work every day with the group that I do. I've always been grateful for that. That's always been a really positive thing. So life's great.
That's part of why he says he feels so strongly about giving back. He formed the Young Nine Foundation just before the start of his rookie year, focused on helping kids and teens with mental wellness.
When you can, at an early age, encourage people to be able to be comfortable having conversations, know that, mental health is something that we all, it's going to be a part of all of our lives. The more people we can reach with that message, we believe can make a difference.
They go crazy. It's so fun.
Dr. Allison Karosky-Mazy is the CEO of Hopeway, a Charlotte mental health organization that works with kids and adults, where Bryce has become a frequent visitor.
He called one day and said, "Tomorrow I have a day off. Can I come to Hopeway?" On his day off, he thought about coming to Hopeway to share his information with the kids. And I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it, because he literally just wanted to come and share his story and really talk about the fact that these are important things to be open and honest about them.
I'm comfortable in my own skin, and I understand the importance of destigmatizing, any sort of negative connotations around mental health. Especially in my space in athletics, mental health wasn't something that you shared. Everyone was too tough or too strong to, admit any sort of struggles.
It means so much to these children who look at him as an idol, and the fact that he can talk about the importance of mental health and bring it down to their level is so inspiring, and it really allows people to understand that mental health is just the same as having a medical problem.
It's a message Young feels called to deliver.
I think it's something that's special, being able to, to have a positive impact on people's lives, to be able to do my part. I'm very blessed. I'm very grateful for the life that I've lived, the opportunities that I have, and again, I feel obligated to be able to be as much of a resource as possible, and it definitely brings me a lot of joy.
In addition to raising awareness, Bryce is also raising money. He's got the first ever sneaker ball this year, and the proceeds go to help Hopeway and other area causes that deal with mental health. Reporting in Charlotte, Michelle Bowden, WCNC Charlotte.
7:55 now. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with more at the top of the hour, streaming here live on WCNC Plus.
Well, good morning, everyone. Take a picture, take a look at your TV screen. This is a live camera coming in from Blowing Rock, where we do have still snow on the ground. However, we are weather impact alert today, not because of the mountain snow, but because of that bitter cold air. We have gusty winds still moving in across the mountains, coming in from the northwest, gusting around 40 miles an hour. It feels like you're in the single digits. This morning in the Queen City, 23 degrees is what it feels like. Low 20s from Monroe to Rock Hill, 19 degrees in Lincolnton. The silver lining in this all is that it is going to be a gorgeous day, plenty of sunshine. Temperatures, though, they're going to struggle, only rising really into the upper 40s. It is Veterans Day. I want to say good morning to all the vets who have served. Thank you so much for your service. Sunny skies today with warmer weather as soon as tomorrow. Becca.
And taking you out on the roads now, live look from I-77 at Woodlawn Road. Right now, no crashes on the interstates, so if you are headed out on this Tuesday morning, you are in good shape with more green than red out there. Still seeing some slowdowns over towards Gaston County, I-85 northbound, and a couple of crashes and incidents to let you know of, including this one with reports of an injury, North Tryon Street at West 32nd Street.
Streaming live right now at 8 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington. We are weather alert today as temperatures are frigid this morning. You will notice it as you make your way out.
Majestic joins us right now with a look at that forecast and hopefully when the temperatures are going to warm back up.
Good morning, everyone. We have issued this weather alert day, not because of the snow that we had last night for many of us, or even that mountain snow that you're waking up to this morning, but we've issued it for everyone because of that brutally cold air that we're waking up to this morning. Futurecast still showing that cold air will stay in place as we're heading into our morning time hours, feeling like we're into the single digits up there in the mountains. And yes, we have that cold air in place, but it's really those breezy winds and actually strong winds up in the mountains moving in from the northwest, making it feel even colder than it already is. Here's about 11 o'clock this morning now. Clear skies and sunshine, yeah, but it's still going to feel like we're into the 20s and low 30s, still feeling like we're below freezing for much of the first half of our day. Now, this will really be our temperature trend. You can see our daytime highs today, still rather chilly, not even touching 50 degrees today. But then we do start to see some changes ahead. Overnight tonight, it doesn't get quite as chilly. Temperatures mainly dropping down into the low to mid 30s for our actual low. And then tomorrow, we actually have a change in our weather pattern. We've been talking about the brutal cold air. We've been looking at the temperature temperatures every few minutes. And now we're going to start looking at what's to come, because it's not going to stay like this for much longer. Really, as we're heading into Wednesday, we have a change in our weather pattern, and it's all about the wind. The wind goes from northwest to southwest, and that'll usher in warmer temperatures for us. And our temperatures are really going to respond to that. So going from daytime highs today that'll only be into the 40s to mid 60s by tomorrow. If you're just waking up, this is what it looks like right now in Blowing Rock. It is a gorgeous start to the morning with a whole lot of sunshine, snow on the ground, but surely very chilly. So if you do have to be outside in the elements, if you work outside, you're going to want to grab your winter gear today. I'm talking about a heavy winter coat. You're going to want layers, gloves, and a hat, because with that wind up there in the mountains, again, feeling like you're into the single digits. Right now, it feels like it's only 2 degrees in Jefferson. 23 is what it feels like in Charlotte. Low 20s there in Monroe. And again, this is why we are weather alert. Coming up in just a few minutes, I'm going to be back here because we have to talk about the good news that's on the way. And the good news is we get to enjoy all the sunshine this week, but 70s are returning. I'll let you know just when in just a few. But for now, Becca, how are the roads? Anything new going on right now?
Well, more good news out there is that traffic is looking very nice, especially in the spots that we normally see lots of congestion. I-77 at Samford Road looking great there as you head out on those north and southbound lanes. And drive times really have gone up just a little bit, but remaining steady. Matthews to Uptown, 22 minutes. Salisbury, 46. Waxhaw, 39. And Belmont, 24 minutes. So got a couple of things going on, especially the newer ones right in Uptown. Crash being reported at 10th Street at the intersection of Graham Street. Seeing some slowdowns there. Just a little bit further up to the north Tryon Street at West 32nd Street. A crash being reported there as well. In addition, Monroe Road, an incident at Orchard Lake Drive does have one lane of traffic blocked off. And then Wilkinson Boulevard, we do still have this crash on those outbound lanes at Old Steel Creek Road.
Becca, thanks. 8:03 right now. The longest government shutdown now on track to end in the next few days. Live pictures right now over the U.S. Capitol this morning, where overnight senators voted to approve a bipartisan agreement. So let's walk you through what's been happening over the last day or so to make this happen. First, on Sunday, the Senate voted to advance the bill. Now, this was not a final passage, instead of more testing the water sort of thing. And then last night's vote, that was the official approval, now sending it to the House. The agreement would now provide 3 full-year spending bills for some agencies. It also gives a short-term measure to fund the rest of the government at current spending levels, at least through January 30th. The breakthrough came after 8 Democratic senators broke rank and joined Republicans to vote for the compromise. Take a look here. There is a common thread among them. None of these senators is up for re-election anytime soon, and 2 of them that you see right here actually planning to retire when their terms end in 2027.
The question now is what happens next? Let's walk you through that process about what to look for in the days ahead.
With the Senate deal passed, it moves across the Capitol to the House of Representatives, where leaders are expected to take it up quickly. House Speaker Mike Johnson says he is hoping to vote by Wednesday after members return to the district. If the House approves it with no changes, the bill heads straight to the president's desk for his signature. That signature would officially reopen the federal government, restore pay for workers, and restart programs that have been frozen during the shutdown.
And coming up at 8:30, our Destiny Richards is going to join us live with how North Carolina lawmakers are reacting to how things are progressing in the Senate. As the shutdown continues, though, WCNC Charlotte's Tradisha Woodard spoke with families who say from food assistance to health care, the strain is deepening with each passing week.
Well, Congresswoman Alma Adams was joined here by other state and local leaders advocating for families who are struggling to make ends meet. She says some of the recent federal decisions are hurting the everyday people the government should be working to protect.
But it's wrong to starve people. It's wrong.
While some came with stories,
it's harming everybody.
Others came with scriptures.
For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. Yes. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. What he did not say is that when I am hungry, it's okay if you force me to choose between taking the medicine I need and feeding my child.
But still, they all stood united about the growing frustration. They say the federal shutdown is hitting home in painful ways.
This is the 41st day of the government shutdown.
Congresswoman Alma Adams stood shoulder to shoulder with others.
And that means that for 41 days, 7,000 federal employees in my district have gone without pay. 41 days, the Charlotte Mecklenburg residents experiencing pauses and delays as they are seeking services from the government.
Adams echoing similar concerns. They say the system is failing those who've worked their whole lives to build it, and they want federal leaders to feel that urgency.
Let's look at the suffering and the pain. Let's have some compassion.
People matter.
County Commissioner Mark Jarrell says folks are losing faith, not just in policy, but also in promises. They're hoping their message serves as a reminder that communities can no longer continue to linger in uncertainty.
People are not ping pong balls. They should not be leveraged or used as pawns in any way.
Tradisha Woodard, WCNC Charlotte.
And folks, there's still time to donate to our neighbors in need. WCNC Charlotte teaming up with Nourish Up to host an emergency food drive. You can see over the weekend we collected about 6,000 pounds of food, but the work is not over. If you want to send a donation, you can do so by texting Stuff the Truck there to the number on your screen, 50155. Thanks to Lowe's Home Improvement, your impacts can go further. It's matching every donation dollar for dollar up to $100,000. Thanks to all of you guys who have already donated.
And as we head to break, here is an exclusive deal for our viewers.
Hey, you know how we do it. Our team is always testing tons of products. We get rid of the rejects, only show you the best ones, and that's why I want to show you this thing today. It's the Tire Hero Portable Tire Inflator. Let me shut this off for a second. Literally true story, 2 weeks ago, I got stuck on the side of the road, glass in the tire. I barely made it to the gas station. Almost cost me hundreds of dollars to tow. So you need one of these anyway. The reason I think this is one of the best on the market is for this reason. Come on, and let me show you. So let's say you don't know the PSI of your car, you don't know what it's supposed to be, or if you want to inflate a ball, it does it for you. So you see the little car icon right there? You can flip through these. Okay, I want to do my car. No, I want to do my motorcycle, little motorcycle icon. I want to do my bicycle tire, or I want to do a soccer ball or an exercise ball. I just blew these up. The other cool thing about this is this. Come on and look at this. It's got the USB adapters here. It acts as a portable battery charger, so you can charge your tablet, you can charge your phone. It also comes with all these different nozzles for kind of anything you would have. It's small enough to literally, I mean, it's a pretty packed glove compartment, right? Look at that. It still fits. Nice and easy. Got a great deal for you on this today. And by the way, you want one of these anyway. You want this anyway because you can save $60 a year for properly inflated tires. So why wouldn't you? Get this one though, because I think it's the best on the market. $69.99 normally. Got a deal for you today. 20% off down to $55.99. Scan the QR code on the screen right now or go to shoptvdeals.com.
Approaching 8:12 right now on WCNC Plus. The U.S. Supreme Court says it will not consider a case that would have challenged a constitutional right to same-sex marriage. The original appeal was from Kim Davis. She's the former Kentucky County Clerk who refused to issue marriage licenses after the 2015 ruling that made same-sex marriage legal. Davis now facing hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees and damages for not issuing those licenses. Right now, President Trump floating the idea of a 50-year mortgage in an attempt to make buying a home more affordable.
The plan is designed to lower people's monthly payments, but experts say homeowners would pay a lot more in interest over those 50 years, which can be risky for borrowers and lenders. Linda Boquero reports.
While 30-year mortgages are a fixture in the housing market since the 1940s, the Trump administration says it's considering allowing a new, longer 50-year mortgage.
The younger generation isn't probably going to end up with a house paid off.
I think it's a great idea. I think it makes more affordability for more people.
Barbara Guerriere, a home loan consultant with Valley Bank, points out, though, that you have to factor in the interest. Let's crunch numbers according to Fannie Mae's mortgage calculator. A $500,000 30-year loan with an interest rate of 6.3% gives you a mortgage payment of $3,101 a month. A 50-year loan at 6.8% brings it down to $2,932. Using that same Fannie Mae calculator, the total interest you'd pay over 30 years is $616,000. Stretching payments out over 50 years doubles the interest to more than $1.2 million.
You're paying increased interest towards that. It also slows up the buildup of equity in the home.
If you're likely to sell the home sooner rather than later, that's where smaller payments might pay off. This homeowner is originally from Bedford.
Even if they sell it, then they've still acquired equity, and real estate's a really good investment.
I think historically, most people aren't in their homes. You know, we always say that 7 to 10 year rule.
All right. That's a lot of money in interest.
Yeah, and doubled the amount of interest.
And here's the thing, 50 years.
It's a long time. Linda Boquero reporting for us there.
We're going to have an update on your morning commute this morning, as well as the forecast. We are weather alert today because of the freezing temperatures this morning. Stay with us.
As you probably saw, we already had some snow flurries last night and temperatures the coldest we've seen since the beginning of the year. it comes as flu cases are increasing as well.
That's right. Some are wondering, can the changing weather increase our risk of getting sick? WCNC Charlotte's Megan Bragg verifies.
It's time to pull out the sweaters and warm clothes as we are really feeling those fall temperatures. But some people are asking, does the change in weather increase your chances of getting sick? Our sources, cardiologist Dr. Paul Coley, family physician Dr. Carla Robinson, and the Cleveland Clinic. Both Dr. Robinson and Dr. Coley agree the change in temperature doesn't make you sick, but it can boost your odds of catching a virus.
Just a temperature change in and of itself is not enough to make you ill. You have to, in fact, be exposed to a virus.
The Cleveland Clinic says there are three main factors that increase illness during weather changes: drier air, the cold temperatures, and exposure.
What happens when the weather gets colder? The air gets a lot drier, which means that when we inhale that dry air, we can be more dehydrated. That can affect our immune function. Our mucous membranes, which are sort of our first line of immunity, all the linings of our lungs, our nose, our mouth, those can start to crack.
Dr. Coley says those cracks can allow bacteria and viruses to get into your body.
And what else happens when it's cold out? We all tend to sort of congregate indoors. Their exposure to other people can go up.
According to Dr. Coley, viruses also survive better in the cooler temperatures.
So anytime there's a large swing in ambient temperature and ambient humidity, or even in the pressure outside, the barometric pressure outside, it can cause biological changes in our body.
So we can verify that, yes, a quick change in weather can increase your chances of getting sick, although the temperature change by itself won't give you a cold. The Cleveland Clinic says some ways to avoid getting sick: stay warm, stay hydrated, get enough rest, and boost your immune system with vaccines. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
Alrighty, well, good Tuesday morning, everyone. We are weather impact alert today here because of that bitter cold air that we're all waking up to this morning. We'll stay weather alert until 9 o'clock this morning. After that, those temperatures will gradually start to rise back above freezing. We've been below freezing since about 8 o'clock last night, so several hours in a row where we are just locked into that cold air. So yeah, as you're heading out the door today, grab that winter weather gear. We're talking about heavy coats, heavy jackets, layers, gloves, maybe a hat, just depending on where you are, and especially if you have to be outside for an extended amount of time. Now, here's a quick check at our actual air temperatures. We're at 31 degrees in Charlotte right now, 30 in Monroe. Out there towards Statesville, good morning, 30 degrees there. So still seeing those temperatures right around freezing, but still our watch spot when it comes to the wind is up in the mountains. That's where we're seeing still those strong wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. And this really makes sense because it feels like you're into the single digits up there in the mountains. It's really the combination of those cold temperatures plus those gusty winds knocking those feel-like temperatures down even more. Feeling like it's 21 degrees in Monroe, 23 in Lancaster, so it is going to be cold for everyone today. A gorgeous day though, plenty of sunshine really throughout the entire day, hardly any cloud coverage out there. Temperatures not reaching 50 degrees though, and here's a live camera look coming in from Lylesville. Out there in Anson County where it is gorgeous, but it's a little deceiving. If you haven't stepped outside yet, you will feel that bitter cold the moment you do. And then in the mountains, it looks like this morning, a little bit of a winter wonderland out there in Blowing Rock. Not only do we have snow on the ground, but we've noticed a lot of the flags and the trees moving around because it is windy out there in the mountains, making it feel a little miserable to be outside when you have that added wind on top of it. Another live camera, this one's coming in from Maggie Valley. This is just outside of our viewing area, west of Asheville. It is gorgeous though, a winter scene, that's for sure. And then Beach Mountain, much the same, limited visibility there. No more snow after today, at least for our extended 7-day forecast. Rather, we get to settle into a quiet weather pattern with a whole lot of sunshine. That's what we're seeing this morning in Boone. I'm noticing a lot of the wind though up towards the higher elevations. Again, that's going to be the big weather story for you today. Freeze warning still in place until 9 o'clock this morning. warning issued by the National Weather Service. Another big reason why we are weather alert today isn't just because of that brutally cold air, but because this is our first hard freeze of the season. So hopefully you've been staying close to our weather team and you were able to protect your vegetation, protect your sensitive plants. We do have some changes on the way, though. As soon as tomorrow, the change in the direction of our wind going from northwest and pulling in that bitter cold Arctic air to southwest, and that's going to bump up our temperatures as soon as tomorrow, going from 48 degrees today for our high to 65 on Wednesday, 68 on Thursday. And if you like this trend, well, then you're going to like my 10-day forecast at least through Sunday. I mean, temperatures at 77 degrees, a very warm forecast at that. There's that Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. Our average high is 64 degrees, well below that today, right around that though for tomorrow, and then getting increasingly warmer just in time for the weekend. All right, Becca, how are the roads this morning? Anything that people should know as they're heading out the door?
Yeah, no big issues out there. Of course, we've got clear skies, but chilly conditions, so grab that jacket as you hit the roadways. I-77 at Catawba Avenue. I was just monitoring a disabled vehicle that was blocking one lane of traffic here on those southbound lanes. That has now cleared to the shoulder within the last couple of minutes, so don't really have to worry about that for that morning commute. Still a little bit of slowdowns in the inner and outer loop over towards the Ballantyne area and Weddington, and still lots of active crashes and incidents out there, none of which are causing any major issues. This one in Uptown 10th Street crash being reported at Graham Street, seeing slowdowns in both directions there, a little bit up towards the north near Camp North and North Tryon Street and 32nd Street, also seeing an active crash there. And then over towards the southeast Charlotte Monroe Road, still have this incident at Orchard Lake Drive that is blocking one lane of traffic. Wilkinson Boulevard, still seeing issues if you are headed outbound, headed towards the airport. We do have this crash at Old Steel Creek Road.
Right now, the Mega Millions jackpot nearing $1 billion. There were no tickets that matched all 6 numbers during Friday night's drawing. That means the $900 million prize still up for grabs tonight. It also happens to be the 8th largest jackpot in the game's history. Last time somebody won was back on June 27th. South Carolina is getting into the holiday spirit, but I'm not sure. Is that what we're going to? Okay,
I think so.
Something just changed, but anyway, it's not there. All right. Maybe if you'll win, you'll have some serious holiday spending. We got a producer who tried to do a nice transition line, which I do appreciate, but you know. Let's take a look at this video right here. A 35-foot tall Norway spruce. This is down at the South Carolina State Capitol, State House. It came from a tree farm in Henderson, North Carolina. It's going to be decorated with about 13,000 lights, hundreds of silver, red, and gold ornaments.
This is such a great way to introduce Christmas to our state. I think many people come from all over the state, take pictures with their families for their Christmas cards. It's just a wonderful way to give back to our state, and we're so privileged to be a part of it.
The tree will be lit up for the first time at the annual Governor's Carol Lighting Ceremony at the State House. That's coming up on November 23rd.
Got to get down there and check that out. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but make sure that you keep it right here on WCNC Plus. Another update on weather and traffic, as well as the day's top headlines, streaming at 8:30.
Well, good Tuesday morning, everyone. It is bitterly cold out there this morning, so we have issued a WCNC weather impact alert day until 9 o'clock this morning. It's cold, but we've also now had our first hard freeze of the season. Multiple hours, 10 to 12 hours spent below freezing. So as you're gearing up to head out the door this morning, make sure you are prepared. Right now, we're at 31 degrees in Charlotte, 30 out there towards Monroe. Cooler up in the mountains, 19 degrees in Jefferson. But in Jefferson, those strong northwesterly winds are really making it brutally cold this morning, knocking those feel-like temperatures down into the single digits. 1 degree is what it feels like as you're heading out the door there, feeling like we're right around 23 in Charlotte and 24 in Lancaster. Throughout the rest of the day today, though, for Veterans Day, plan for sunny skies, temperatures into the 60s, though, by tomorrow. Becca.
Traffic in good shape out there. A lot of people off for Veterans Day. That includes most school districts, so a lot less traffic out there as you hit the road. Same goes over towards the usual spot that's packed. I-77 at Gold Hill running smoothly out there right now. So as you can see, current traffic maps, it is a little bit slow running on the inner and outer loop over towards Ballantyne, but that really is the biggest slowdown of them all.
Now on this Tuesday morning, Veterans Day. Thanks for streaming live on WCNC Plus. I'm Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. This morning we're hearing from North Carolina lawmakers reacting to that Senate deal.
Our colleagues at WRAL reached out to all 14 members of North Carolina's delegation in the U.S. House to ask how they plan to vote on the package. WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards is live this morning in West Charlotte with a look at some of those responses. Destiny.
Yeah, North Carolina lawmakers have been sounding off since this vote took place, some praising this deal as a way to finally end the government shutdown, and others calling this deal a mistake. Now, from both sides of the aisle, we are seeing very different responses. Republican Congresswoman Virginia Foxx, who chairs the House Rules Committee, says she's in alignment with House Speaker Mike Johnson as Republicans decide their next steps. On the other side, Democratic Congresswoman Deborah Ross called the plan a bad deal for North Carolina, saying it fails to protect families facing rising health care costs. And former Governor Roy Cooper, who's running to replace Republican Thom Tillis in the U.S. Senate, said any deal that allows health care costs to skyrocket is unacceptable. Other North Carolina Republicans, including Mark Harris and Greg Murphy, are blaming Democrats for the stalemate, calling the shutdown political theater, while moderate Democrats like Don Davis say they just want to end the shutdown responsibly and get help to families who need it. So while it seems the government shutdown is possibly nearing its end, there still exists that political divide over who is to blame and what happens next. I'll send it back to you guys live here in Charlotte.
All right, Destiny, thank you. Turning back to your weather impact forecast, and Majestic, a chilly morning, the coldest morning we've seen in quite some time, and that snow we saw yesterday, one of the earliest snows we saw.
Exactly. We haven't seen a November snowfall since 2018, and we even got some snow right here in Charlotte. However, we are under a weather alert day because of not the snow, but rather that bitter cold Arctic air that has completely spread across the Carolinas. We'll stay weather alert until 9 a.m. this morning. That's when our freeze warnings will expire, and that's when temperatures will start to rise back above freezing. But here's the thing. We saw those temperatures dip below freezing around 8 o'clock last night, so we will have a total anywhere from 10 to 12 hours consecutively dipping below freezing. It has been chilly since last night, and it is cold out there this morning. Right now we're at 31 degrees in Charlotte, 29 in Hickory, 32 in Statesville. Once you add in the wind, though, remember that wind is what will really get you, especially up there in the mountains where northwesterly winds are still gusting occasionally up to 40 miles an hour. That makes it feel like you're into the single digits there in Jefferson. 1 degree there, 23 in Hickory, and it feels right around 23 here in Charlotte as well. So if you work outside, if you have to be out in the elements today, go ahead and grab yourself your big heavy winter coat. You'll want that today, probably a hat and gloves as well. You don't want a lot of exposed skin when we're dealing with wind chill values that are in the single digits. 32 degrees will be your high there in Banner Elk, right at freezing, 34 in Fleetwood. Once we're heading across the foothills, it's going to be beautiful today in Morganton with a high of 48, 46 out towards Hickory, and we're looking at about 48 here in Charlotte as well, 47 for Salisbury, and then just to the south of us, mainly upper 40s from Rock Hill to Rockingham. Now today is going to be cold, bottom line. Tomorrow, believe it or not, we're back into the mid 60s. Here's one of our beautiful live cameras, depending on whether you like the snow or not. I like the snow. We're calling this beautiful. Thankfully, those area roadways aren't looking too bad there, but those grassy surfaces, still you can see where the snow has really accumulated. And then this is out there in Boone, where it is also a beautiful start to the day, and the snow is really done and over with today. Now we get to enjoy some sunshine, but again, the temperatures will be the big weather story today. Satellite and radar looks like this. Very scattered snow showers, mainly off to the north of us, but we even saw some of those snowflakes, yes, hit the Charlotte metro area last night, but it even reached parts of the beach out there in Myrtle Beach. Got some snowflakes from that system. So let's talk about that snow. The last time we had November snow, it was on November 11th of 2018, but the snow that we received just last night, it tied with the 5th earliest snowfall that we have seen on record. So yes, kind of historic that we had that, even though it wasn't a whole lot. National Weather Service still has us under freeze warnings until 9 a.m. this morning. This is a big reason why we have also issued this weather alert. Yes, it's cold, but this is a first hard freeze of the season for just about every county in our viewing area. So hopefully you've been staying close to our weather team. We've been trying to prepare you for this cold snap, because if you have sensitive plants, if you have sensitive vegetation, cold temperatures like this can really be very, very brutal. What we're seeing though in our futurecast, clear skies takes us straight into really the rest of our work week. It's going to be beautiful. However, a change in the weather pattern. We're going to have our next front sweep through, and that's going to shift the direction of our winds. So instead of the winds moving in from the north and pulling in that cold Arctic air, it'll actually start to move in from the southwest, and that'll help to increase our temperatures. I mean, it's going to be a dramatic difference, but a good dramatic difference. 48 for our high today, 65 though for Wednesday. Thursday gets even better, nearing 70 degrees. And if you like how that's going, well, then you'll probably love this. Here's our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast, warming up into the 70s by Friday. So start making those nice weekend plans. It's going to be quite enjoyable. Again, today is Veterans Day, so if you have any plans today, grab those layers. 48 for your high. And I want to say good morning to all the vets who are watching. Thank you so much for your service. Becca.
Taking you now over towards North Charlotte, live look outside from I-45 at the Brookshire Boulevard. No issues here, but over towards the south side of Mecklenburg County, that's where the issues lie in both the inner and outer loop of I-45 right near Johnston Street. We do have reports now of an official crash blocking 3 out of the 4 lanes of traffic. Now, this crash is on the inner loop, but I'm also seeing pretty heavy onlooker delays on the outer loop as well. Is expected to clear at around 11:30, so that is a couple of hours from now. Definitely want to seek an alternate route. Pineville Matthews Road would be your best bet. A few other issues out there that I want to mention. This one in Uptown is blocking 1 lane of traffic. That is 10th Street at Graham Street. Also over towards the North Davidson area. Do still have this one that is North Tryon Street at 32nd Street. And then over towards Southeast Charlotte, Monroe Road at Orchard Lake Drive, also causing a few minor delays.
Becca, thanks. More road work is coming to I-77 in Charlotte.
Coming up next, we're going to share the plans of the latest improvement project and how you can weigh in on the changes.
Now you're streaming live on WCNC Plus. Tomorrow you will have the chance to weigh in on a major project that will impact almost every single one of us. NCDOT plans to expand I-77 again while also adding toll lanes from Uptown all the way to the state line.
It's going to have a major impact on your commute, and it could drastically change neighborhoods along the interstate as well. Joining us this morning to explain what's on the table, Jen Goodwin from the Department of Transportation. Jen, thanks as always. Good to speak to you.
Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So the DOT holding 2 public meetings, one tomorrow, one Thursday. I'm going to go over those details coming up in just a minute if people want to go and attend. What are you hoping? What is the DOT hoping comes from these meetings?
So these are very important meetings, like you mentioned. This project is a long time in the making, and I want to give you guys a little background to help your viewers understand how we got to this point. It goes back to 2007 to a study that was done called the Fast Lane Study. It was a partnership with NCDOT, South Carolina DOT, the City of Charlotte, looking at corridors around the Charlotte region to see which ones might benefit most from implementing express lanes. And the I-77 corridor was identified as one of those arterials that would benefit from implementing express lanes. And by law in North Carolina, only local planning organizations can approve toll projects. So that comes in our area from the Charlotte Regional Transportation Planning Organization. So in 2014, that organization submitted a project for prioritization to include toll lanes on I-77. And so now that is in our NCDOT's 10-year capital plan, our 2026 to 2035 STIP. And so we're looking at adding 2 express lanes in each direction along 11 miles of I-77, basically from where it ties into the existing express lanes near the Brookshire Freeway, going down to the South Carolina line, and it's going to touch every interchange along I-77 in that area. It's the most expensive project we've ever embarked on in state history, over $3.2 billion, and it's going to be very challenging for us because it's in a very densely populated area. There are a lot of environmental challenges, and of course the challenges of minimizing impacts as much as we can to any communities, and that's why public engagement and public input is top of mind for us. We have gone out to communities early. We've held a lot of small group meetings with a lot of communities that are right along this corridor. We started having small group meetings back in January. We've had 25 of them, and we have reached over 800 residents in those communities. And we are continuing our public engagement process of the project right now by having these public meetings this week. And we want to see more neighbors turn out and share their thoughts with us.
Jim, we certainly appreciate you giving us the backstory and the history there to help our viewers understand some more. I think you used the word challenging 2 or 3 times because this is a challenging task for sure. You've got to address the growth that's happening in the area. You have the commutes that are just far too long for so many people. There's also the dislike of their toll lanes. There are people who just don't like the toll lanes. And as you said, a very thin strip of land to expand 77. So how do you juggle those priorities?
So one thing I want to mention too is the importance of addressing the congestion, because this section of I-77 has not been widened since the 1990s. And as you know, the growth of Charlotte has just continued. And so we cannot do nothing. Safety is our first priority. So doing nothing is not an option for the department. And the crash rates on this stretch of I-77 are 2.5 times the statewide average. So that is, again, very something we don't want to see continue. And we want to ease the congestion. We want to help alleviate it. And we want those crash rates to come down. So we need to address those issues. More than 160,000 cars use this section of I-77 on a daily basis. That's only going to continue to grow as we expect to see probably more than 4 million people in this area by the year 2050. And so we have to do something. We also have, of course, the challenge of so much development on both sides of the interstate. So we have to take that into consideration. We have to consider impacts to the environment with a lot of water resources nearby. We have a lot of historic landmarks. We have cemeteries. We have parks and greenways. It's a densely populated area. So all of these factors make it challenging. And then again, the cost itself, $3.2 billion, is making it difficult. But the one thing too that's very important that we have on our side too is the involvement of the CRTPO. They have been a very valuable partner because they want to be very transparent and want to help with lessons learned from the I-77 North project. So they formed a working group, volunteers from the CRTPO board, to come alongside to work with NCDOT and to identify very important low and high impact financial terms to help develop those things that are important to them in seeing a contract. And one of those is making sure that the tolls are going to be affordable, because that's important to make sure that people are going to use them. And we want to be able to provide a reliable travel time for drivers and make sure it's something
just
they
interrupt
can use.
just real quickly, because
Yes.
I want to get to everybody, because including I want to talk about the northern toll lanes, because if you've been here any longer than 5 to 10 years, you know them. But I want to show, and I interrupt because I feel like I have to walk people through this. One of the maps of the project, and when we put this up, it's sort of sensory overload, because you're like, wow, what am I looking at right now? To give you some idea, there in your center of the screen, that's the football field for JCSU. So off to the right would be the interchange for Brookshire and 77. Then you got the 5th Street interchange and Trade Street, I believe. The northern part of that right there, you've got a number of neighborhoods. You've got Wesley Heights, you've got McCrory Heights, you've got Oaklawn Park. That's what people are looking at right now. As you know, these are historically black neighborhoods, and they've been through this before. Over the decades, interstate expansion has divided and taken away homes. Understanding that this is necessary and that growth is necessary, how is the DOT planning to address the legitimate concerns of some of these neighbors?
And that's where we are right now, Ben, with having those community meetings. And we have met with neighbors in those communities. And we have had face-to-face conversations with them and hearing those concerns they have. And those are concerns that we are taking seriously and trying to address as we are moving through the design process. It's important to, those maps that you're looking at are preliminary. They are not final designs. And we are still in that preliminary phase of the design process of this project. We're years from construction. We're years away from moving any earth or anything like that. So we're going to have opportunities for more engagement beyond these public meetings this week. So this is not a one and done. We're going to have more chances to have more meetings with these communities and to have more opportunities to talk with them and to hear what they have to say. And that's why we want people to come to these meetings. We want them to be a part of the process. We want them to talk to our project team because they're right there on the ground and they see things that maybe we don't see or know things that maybe we don't know that are going to help us as we move along through the development of this project. And so whether it's an email, a phone call, whether it's even a handwritten letter, all of the comments carry equal weight as we continue to move through the process. And we want them to come alongside us, to collaborate with us, to help us create a project that's going to work for everyone.
Because these are the people who live there. We do have another graphic. We know that one option, Jen, is an elevated toll lane. Of course, that keeps a smaller footprint, a smaller impact on communities. Is that something that might also be considered? We're showing that graphic now. I'm not sure if you were able to see it, but that would, again, a smaller footprint.
I do see it. Yes, that is an alternative that is being considered. And again, like I was just saying, it's not final, but it is one that is under consideration. So we're not at a point yet where we've made a final decision. So we encourage people to just provide their feedback. Let us know what's on their mind. Let us know their thoughts.
Okay, now let's go back to the I-77 express lanes north of town. Because it does strike me there's so many folks who move here every single day. And they drive that right now and they enjoy it and they think not a thing about it.
Right.
But as you know, they were the hot topic for years on end, 8 or 10 years ago. I don't need to remind you of that. What are some lessons taken from that situation that the DOT is now using to approach this project differently?
So that was the first public-private partnership the state ever took on. I think the market has changed. The industry has changed now that we're a decade removed from it. There are more companies that do this type of work. And we have had a lot more engagement with the CRTPO on this project, several years worth of meetings and update meetings. And we've asked the CRTPO to kind of tell us what's important to you, and they've done that. But I want to remind your viewers too that this is something that the CRTPO has requested, that they've requested this project. This is not something that the DOT has pulled out. So, we're delivering this at their request. So when they have asked for information, we've provided it at their request. But one thing too is they've been very vocal about they want to have this working group. They want to create these terms, low and high financial key terms that are important to help drivers get more out of this. And also, we've had a lot more interest from the industry this time around too. We had an industry forum in Raleigh back in September. I think we had almost 270 attendees. And we've also had some meetings with some industry representatives. So there's probably going to be a lot more competition this time around when we get to the point where we can start accepting bids, which is probably going to be still some time in the future. but we're probably going to see some pretty robust competition for this project because there's a lot of interest.
There's a lot of stakeholders
Yes.
in a situation like this. You've got the commuters, you've got neighbors, you've got the city, you've got the state. So many people, and it's important we get this right for the future of our city. And part of that is making sure folks weigh in. So
yes, definitely.
Keep that in mind.
Yes.
Jen, thank you so much for taking time explaining this for all of us. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And a reminder, folks, the meeting's happening tomorrow. The first one happening at the Innovation Center on Johnson C. Smith University campus. That's tomorrow from 4 to 7. If you can't make that meeting, the other one's happening Thursday at Silver Mount Baptist Church from 4 to 7 p.m. as well. Get involved. All right, switching gears now to your weather impact forecast, and it is the coldest start of the season so far.
It's bitterly cold out there, really all across the Carolinas. We have seen that Arctic cold front pass through, some snowfall for some of us, and then really whether or not you saw the snow, we are all waking up to that chilly, chilly air that's in place. We are weather alert this morning. It's likely going to cancel out right around 9 o'clock because temperatures are going to start to climb back into areas above freezing because we've been below freezing now for the last 10 to 12 hours. Just gridlocked into those bitter cold temperatures. Right now we're at 31 in Charlotte. We're at 34 out towards Concord. Albemarle, 33 for you, 34 in Wadesboro. So slowly but surely getting a little bit warmer, but bottom line is that today by no means will be warm. Even our daytime highs will struggle to warm. Still breezy up there in the mountains. However, those winds are starting to lighten up just a bit. Feels like you're still into the single digits up there in the mountain locations. 4 degrees in Jefferson, 23 is what it feels like in Charlotte, 21 in Monroe. So with that being said, if you have outdoor pets, hopefully you already brought them inside and taken care of them, or at least made sure they were prepared for this chill in the air. And if you work outside in the elements, you will most definitely want to go grab your winter gear because you don't want a lot of exposed skin when we're seeing those feel like temperatures into the single digits. This is even 11 o'clock this morning. So really that sun will be out. It's going to be a gorgeous day. Single digits for mountain locations, into the 20s for a lot of us right around the city. And this will be what it will feel like around 3 o'clock this afternoon. Warming a little bit, but still not a whole lot. Most of our day will feel like we're in the 30s. So prepare for that. Want to take you out to the mountains. 32 degrees for your high in Banner Elk, 35 in Blowing Rock and Boone, 34 in Fleetwood. And remember, those areas will experience those gusty winds really knocking those feel like temperatures down even more. 46 out towards Lenore and Hickory, right around 48 here in the Queen City and Gastonia, even out there towards Shelby, and 48 out there towards Rock Hill and Chester. Throughout the day today, this is what it will look like at Beech Mountain, where we have snow on the ground, limited visibility, but temperatures in the mountains really will struggle to even rise above that freezing mark. So the snow, it's really not going to melt until tomorrow, because tomorrow, remember, we have warmer weather ahead. Sunny skies, temperatures rising right around those mid to upper 40s, and quiet conditions across the Carolinas this morning. Freeze warning set to expire at 9 o'clock this morning, issued by the National Weather Service. And remember, we're under this weather alert because of our first hard freeze of the season and the bitter cold air in place. Those winds start to change directions as soon as tomorrow, moving in from the southwest. That's really going to help those temperatures. If you are already sick and tired of the cold, the good news is tomorrow will be much better. 65 for our high, Thursday 68. And if you like that, you'll love the Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast with temperatures rising back into the 70s just in time for the weekend. Becca.
All right, it's been a calm rush hour commute so far, monitoring just a couple of accidents out there. Live look over towards I-77 at the John Belk Freeway. Traffic starting to settle down, but it's really one major issue that I'm looking at, and that is over towards southern Mecklenburg County. The inner loop of I-485 near Johnston Road currently has 3 out of 4 lanes blocked off due to a serious crash. Like I mentioned, this is on the inner loop, but we're also seeing backups on the outer loop as well. Best workaround, take Pineville Matthews Road instead. Also towards Lake Wiley, we do have this crash on those eastbound lanes, York Road at McDowell Park Drive. Stay with us. We've got more news, weather, and traffic after this.
Well, good Tuesday morning, everyone. We have a WCNC weather impact alert morning because of that bitter cold air back behind that Arctic cold front. Stepping outside the door this morning, you will feel the chill in the air, and we've actually been below freezing now for the last 10 to 12 hours. Grab those layers. You will want it. We're starting to see those temperatures warm slowly but surely. It's now 34 degrees in Charlotte, 33 for our friends in Hickory. Still dealing with those breezy northwesterly winds, especially up in the mountains, making it feel like you're in the single digits in the mountains. Feels like it's 25 degrees here in Charlotte, though, and if you're already sick and tired of the cold weather, the good news is starting tomorrow, temperatures will be back into the 60s, with 70s returning just in time for the weekend. Becca.
And a live look outside over towards I-77 at the John Belk Freeway. It has been a fairly quiet morning commute so far as a lot of people are off for Veterans Day. But one thing to let you know of as you hit the roadways this early Tuesday morning, it's this crash. Inner loop of I-485 near Johnston Road has 3 out of 4 lanes currently blocked off. That is causing a big stretch of delays. Again, this is on the inner loop, but also delays on the outer loop due to onlooker delays.